Lost frequency.
Hello.
So is there maybe an album on the way?
There is.
There is.
Because I had a lot of time in the studio, like a lot of producers. I'm gonna put an album together with all this music.
So what kind of vibe can we expect?
I worked on different sound designs, like more synth tracks with like cool different synthesizers that I used. That I use, for example, I don't know if you heard, I did a remix for Kungs, Never Going Home, and then there is like this big synthesizer that I used, and I use this kind of sounds on the tracks. That I think it's like a mix between my more clubby tracks and radio tracks. Like it's a mix of everything I did for the last 5 years. So it's different from what I did before, but still you can recognize the Lost Frequencies sound.
Could you maybe describe one day in your life?
So it depends. At the moment there are 3 different day kind of schedules I have. Is the day on tour, the day on promo, and the day in my life in Brussels. So if it's my day at home, I wake up, I go in the office in the morning. I try to do all the boring stuff in the morning, and then I do lunch with my family, and then in the afternoon I go in the studio until late at night.
That's crazy. That's a lot.
It never really stops. So sometimes I need to take a break, and then I call my friends, and then we hang out together. It's nice.
Amazing. Are there any things that you can maybe recommend to young artists?
I would say try to find your own sound, which is easy to say but hard to do. I think you get it by really working on it throughout the time. It doesn't come like in 1 week, you know. It's more like when you do a track and then another one and then another one and another one, there are some patterns that will come back, and this will be your thing. And I think that's really important to try to do something different than the other guys, because there are already so much different things happening, and if you try to copy somebody else that does it good, they were probably going to be, people are going to rather listen to the good one than the copy-paste version you're making. And I think that's important to keep in mind. But for example, if I have a lack of inspiration, I take my favorite track of the moment, I put it in a project, and I try to redo the track. Like I try to remake the exact same thing. And by doing that, like for example, at some point I will try to remake the synthesizer of a track or the same chord pattern. And then when I do that, I will get inspired. And then I take away the original track I was listening to, and from there on I work on my original track, and usually that's inspiring. That's inspiring to me.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. I mean, it's like practicing and explore something new.
It's like first of all trying to copy the track you really like. Production-wise, it's not easy, so you try to push yourself to find the right sound that fitting together and trying to make it. And then so it's a good practice. And then once you get inspired, then you're inspired, and then you just take everything and you remodel everything towards your style, you know. So I really like to do that. It's fun. And then at the end, it's so far away from the track I put in as a reference track. It's something completely different, but it's super fun to have inspiration from something and then go somewhere completely different.
What song could it be right now?
If I had to take a track to be inspired of right now, I think I would take Time from Tale of Us that they just released, which is like a remix of Hans Zimmer they did, just because they managed to create a really epic moment with very few instruments. Mm-hmm. And I played it once in my set, and I have like the shivers all over my body. I was like, this sucks, it's not my track. So I will try to do something kind of similar with this. You build up to somewhere, and then suddenly it stops, and then you have like this nice chorus coming in with some strings, and it's just a beautiful moment. But it's hard to do because then it will be very, very similar to their track. So that's why I try to do the same, and then once I have it, I'm trying to add stuff or take some stuff away to make it my own and to be different from a track I really enjoy.
So what does it take to catch you? I mean, you're kind of very specific with demos and
Yes.
the feeling they create within you.
Yes.
What does it take? Is it about the lyrics, or is it about the melodies?
The lyrics get me a lot. Like if the lyrics are not right and I feel it's cringe, I will like get back immediately. Then there is the chord progression. That's also super important for me. Usually if I like a vocal, I would create a new chord progression underneath that I think fits better with me. But then there is also the melody, of course, of the demo. And if I do like a demo, then I will listen to it once, maybe twice, and will, oh, this one is nice, and I won't answer. I will maybe wait like 1 day or two to see if maybe, and then a few days later, if I see the name of the track and I can re-sing in my head like the catchy part, then I will try to work on it because it's catchy.
Did it happen that you were listening to a demo and you were instantly like, oh my god,
yes.
This is so crazy?
With Love to Go that I did with Calvin Jones, he sent me a demo with his voice and it was like, I think you love to go, and then I was like, this is nice. This is nice. We have something here. And then I told him straight away, like, okay, let's do this immediately. And I still love the track. Like now when I play it in the sets, and I did it in Las Vegas. I played it, and everybody goes, I think you love to go. Everybody screams, and it's such a nice moment. I really like it.
Is there any person you would really, really, really like to work with?
Charlie Puth, I really like to.
Oh.
Because I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. He's a super funny guy. He looks
on TikTok.
On TikTok, he's super funny. Yeah, he's crazy. And then he's in the studio, like making these things, and then he sings like super well. And I do like his looks, and he seems like a very nice guy. So I think it will be super fun to be with him. Also, he seems like super talented. Like this guy is super talented. And otherwise, I would love to work with Labyrinth also, who did the soundtrack of Euphoria. That was really impressive.
He also made Jealous, right? You know, Jealous?
Yeah. His sound design is really nice. I really like it.
And the most embarrassing thing that happened to you on stage?
That was one of my first performance ever. I was playing at a festival in Belgium. So I was playing on that stage at a good slot, which was super big for me. And I didn't DJ very well at that time, so I was using a controller with a laptop. Then I can actually see the music, and it's easier to beat match and to put the tracks together. But the thing is, I practice at home, and at home it's not the same as being on stage, because the stage that they built was moving a lot. Like everybody was jumping, and the stage was moving. The USB from my controller to the laptop fell out, but like from this, and everything froze.
Oh no!
And then I looked at it, and I didn't know what was happening, because I never had this issue, because at home it never happens because nothing is moving. And so I was like, I plug it off and I put it back in, and then it's working. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And then I start again, and I'm so stressed, I cannot enjoy anything. So I'm like, I didn't know what it was, why the music stopped, and then it happens again, and I'm like, oh, what is happening? What is happening? And then I do it one more time, and then a second time it stops, and I understand it's the USB falling, because the third time it fell like even more. And then I was playing, like holding it, and I was playing, and I was like, and then I never used the controller anymore ever of my life.
Okay.
It was so bad.